Hello everybody! Today we're going to see how I draw Emperor Palpatine from Star Wars. Just so you know, there's a coloring book that you can get through Amazon. Just follow the link in my description and you can get a coloring book to show me how you color to how I draw. Okay, pencils first and then Sharpies. So if you don't want to watch the pencil portion of the video where I sketch the entire thing out for myself, look in the description and you'll find a link that you can click on that will take you to the Sharpie portion of the video. I'll even include one for color. But for those of you that are going to stick around, I'm going to start off with a quick sketch for myself and get us going. Okay, so yeah, Emperor Palpatine. I've got quite a few requests for him, so here we go. We're going to do them. Now, here's the thing. Look, I'm still drawing a stick figure. I'm still getting the proportions right, and then we drape him with his robe. Whoa, I couldn't think of that word. Okay. But here's the real trick is, what am I going to do? Because there's only, so much of him that we can see, and we want to make it look like he's wearing robes, and we got to draw that gigantic head that's underneath those robes. Now here's the other thing too. I'm accepting that, look, whatever is in the movies is law, okay? Because that's set in stone. We've got a new daddy. Daddy is Disney, and Daddy says this is how it's going to be now. So we have to accept that that's what's going to happen. So as much as I love the books, oh my gosh, it was such a good book about Palpatine, like the rise of him and his master and all that stuff. My God, those are some good books. But those are dead. Unfortunately, they're saying that those are just, consider it like fan fiction. It's no longer, and so we can't go by that anymore. So it's crushing too, I know, because I love those stories and Darth Plagueis and all that stuff. Unless they come back and say, okay, we're bringing that back, we're going to say this is going to go forward, it's not going to happen. This is our future. The movies are canon. That's what we're going to go by, right? Okay, so that being said, I'm not crazy about how, hey, it's George Lucas. He wrote his own story. He decided how he wanted to do it. I'm not crazy about how he handled his creation. What I mean by that is, now hear me out, is in the the prequels, 1, 2, and 3, he rushed the end, and so he had an idea, right? And so I'm going to think of how I want to do his hand. He rushed the end of it. So what he did was he tried to wrap it all up at the end of 3, right? And he didn't have to. But what he did was he rushed out, made the Palpatine all transformed with his for some strange reason electrified head, and I didn't like that. What could have happened, and same thing with Vader. Okay, I'm just going to ramble on it now. All that could have happened, his costume, all that build could have been done gradually, but instead he scarred him up with the lava right away. He took his legs off right away. He scarred his head up right away. He did all that, and he didn't have to. And that's same thing with Palpatine. When he was fighting Mace, and the electricity was going back onto his head, and it, for some strange reason, wrinkled up his brain head type thing. I wasn't a fan of that, because again, that could have been done gradually, but he wrapped everything up at the very end, and I wasn't a fan. So I wish he would have just taken his time and said, okay, if this is going to be, honestly, look, let me go even further. What he should have done, what the Clone Wars should have been, were battles and fights with cloning of the Emperor. If you're going to play around with, oh look, there's an Emperor at the end, still alive, at the end of Rise of Skywalker, which involved cloning, then you should have made the Clone Wars about cloning the Emperor, and that's how he's still alive and battling and that kind of stuff, not about an army that he makes. Let's just look at it this way. He makes his own army, he makes his own clones, he makes his own robots to fight themselves. It doesn't make sense. It really doesn't. But again, we got a new daddy. Daddy says this is how the stories are. So this is what we're going to go with. So this is just me and my rambling that if I would have done it, how I would have done it, right? The problem is, you know, we say it's George Lucas's vision. It wasn't. He had an idea and he went with it, and this is what we got. And then, you know, he kept going, and it should have slowed down, honestly. But because it's more than George Lucas. It really is. Ralph McQuarrie did the designs. The editors edited the movies to what you love and see right now. So it was more than just it was George Lucas's vision. No, it was his idea, and it kind of ran with it. So that's my rambling of they rushed it. They rushed it. And if you're gonna say there was an emperor that is this disheveled and whatnot, we didn't have to have an explanation right away. Same thing with Vader. You could have gradually made him lose parts here and there, because even when Obi-Wan Kenobi tells Luke he's more machine than man now, those little bits and pieces could have been removed little by little by little, and now what's left of him is what Obi-Wan Kenobi knows. It's like, yeah, he's not much of a person anymore, you know? But no, but instead they did it all at the very end, kind of tried to wrap everything up real fast, and they really shouldn't have. They should have gradually done it. But I mean, I get it. I get why they did it. I just wish they didn't. And that's just my Star Wars ramblings of how I would have done it. You know, that's everybody has their own story. Everybody has their, you know, armchair quarterback, so to speak, theories, and that's mine. But hey, we're ready to go, and so now I'm going to, after my rambling there, now I'm going to erase some of these sketch lines, because all I need is the confidence lines. And what I was doing there was throwing lines for a sketch, just trying to get an idea, right? And then as I got more confident, I pressed harder, and those lines are going to be a little darker. So as I'm lightly erasing and moving my paper, this happens to me a lot. I need to start retaping my paper better. As I erase lightly, the confidence lines stick around while the sketch lines disappear. And that's how you live your life. You get rid of your sketchiness, you keep your confidence. And that will give us better drawings, a happier life, and maybe better Star Wars stories. But hey, you know what? It's all Star Wars. That's what it comes down to. It's all Star Wars. I'm glad we have more stuff to watch and look at, and even the old stuff that's not canon anymore. Stories to read, fun, fan fiction. Heck yes. It's all exciting. All of it. Okay, so I say we welcome everybody that skipped and get going. Welcome, skippers. Welcome to the Sharpie portion of the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, as I do a different drawing every day. You can join along and have some fun. I'm going to be using a Sharpie fine point and a Sharpie pen, mostly the fine point, but the pen's a little finer than the fine point. You can find things that the fine point can't quite find. I've sketched the entire thing out. I've erased a majority of the sketch lines, but left myself enough to see where we're going to go. And if you want to see more Star Wars, check out this playlist up here, or check out the playlist in general, because chances are, whatever you're looking for, I've probably already drawn it. So go check it out and go have some fun with the playlist, and we'll see what we're going to do. I'm going to start with the Sharpie pen, and I've already sketched out where I'm going to go with this, so maybe I should, let's do this. I'm going to do his face, but I'm going to show you where it is under his hood, okay? Because the hood is kind of draped over his head a little bit, so you don't see the edges of his head. You just see, like, you know, the old Palpatine roundness. So I'm going to draw his hood kind of coming down like this, so you can see where it is. And that'll also give you an idea where his head is going to be, okay? So there's where it's going to lock in like that. And it's going to wrap around his shoulders like this and go back up to his big old dome head, his big old brain head. If you want to hear a funny explanation or my ramblings about his big old dome head, go check out the drawing. I went to a large Star Wars ramble on that one. So I'm going to dome it around a little bit more like this. Add some material lines. Okay, so that's what I just wanted to show you, that now his head's going to be in here. The top of his head is in there, and so it's kind of coming down a little bit, right? Makes sense? Awesome. Let's draw the top of his eyelids like this. Okay, and so for his pupils, I'm just going to dot them like that. Because I want, no, or maybe I should do let's do it. Let's draw the retina. Because I just want to keep it light and simple, because of the design and the look of it. But I'm not going to draw the under part of the eye. I'm just going to pull it in just a little bit like that, just to imply that there's a bottom part, and then color will help do more of that. But I am going to do some strange edges here, because he's got them. You know, the strange old Palpatine brain head. And again, if you want to hear me ramble on about his Palpatine brain head, go back to the beginning. It's a little funny, I'm all over the place on it. I got crazy. Okay, he does have like those lines in his face, but I think I want to do that with color. So let me draw some nose lines like this, and then same thing. I'm going to do a lot with color, but I'll do like a line like that, and that'll at least give us an edge, and the rest I'm going to do with color. But he does have some very predominant like face lines that I'll do like this. I'm going to do his mouth. I'm going to do angry Palpatine. I'm not going to do the smile. Well, I guess I just did the smile, huh? Let's do that, and then we'll do, let's see, how about we do a couple more lines just to show his what do you call it, the wrinkles in his face. Come up here like this and draw the edges of his face. And I want to do more, like, because he does have quite a few lines and wrinkles. But I think I should do more of that with color, like the lines under his eyes. I think that will look much better if we do that with color. So maybe that's all I'm going to do. Let's just do that for his head. All right, so let me draw his neck like this. That's all you can see because of the robe, you know. And then again, the robe is kind of hanging down, so we're just going to kind of do some more little cloth lines inside there, like that. Okay. Awesome. All right. So, and this is going to be a lot of robe, is all it really is. But I've got his hands. We're going to be shooting a little bit of lightning if I can. So I've got his hands kind of up. You know, Palpatine, he raises them up to shoot you, to get you. Let's draw his shoulder coming down, but I got to stop about right there because that's where his hand's going to be. Now, let's do the other one over here. Same thing. This hand's kind of raised up too. So I'm going to start drawing the hands, then I'll show you the robes underneath. Okay, so this hand is pretty much doing like this. It's hard to show you because. But the direction I've got it in, but he's basically shooting lightning, so you got to think of like a whoosh, you know. So he's going to draw one finger extended up, and this is also foreshortening. So when you draw foreshortening, see how, let's see if I could do it like this. How this finger, if you were to draw this, it would look like this finger is just a nub, right? But it's foreshortened, so you kind of have to highlight and get the lines a little playful to make it look right, but it's going to look together. It's going to look better all together. So it's going to look strange while we're drawing it, but all together it's going to make sense. So here's the thumb, the little rickety old man thumb, and here's the foreshortened finger. And now I'm going to draw more lines underneath it. Okay, so this one's up, these are kind of down. So think of the knuckles like this, right? And then the other fingers are kind of down like that. And then I'm going to extend the pinky way out. See, so it's kind of like down like this, and the pinky is going to be sticking way out. because it's the most lightning efficient, right? Okay, there's the inside palm, like that. So I know, again, it looks a little strange, but you just got to think, well, this one's all bent in on itself, right? And then we're going to draw some old man hand lines, just to kind of, you know, stress that it's wrinkly and bumpy and an old man, you know. And the hard part is doing it with a big fat Sharpie like that, because I want to add detail, but I also want to give you a nice, good image to see. And so I'm going to have you can see his arm a little bit. You can see his wrist underneath into his robe. You can't really see this stuff, but I'm drawing it like well, let's say he's got like wrappings underneath, but the robe is hanging down like that, right? But you can see inside, and so we're just going to say it's a wrapped arm like that, and it's going to be all dark and colored anyway, so you're probably not even going to see it. But because we can in ours, I'm getting a little creative. Okay, so again, robe hanging down. So I'm just going to kind of draw some robe lines and lots of creases and folds. My favorite, right? Like this, and there's going to be. Let's do the center one too, just so you see where we are. Let's see if I can find a picture of his little necklace. He got dressed in the morning, and he's like, I think these robes need a little something else. Let me think of a little. Ooh, I know. I've got this little necklace I want to wear. He puts on his little doohickey necklace like this. He's like, yeah, I'm looking good. I'm gonna go out. People are gonna say, Palpatine, that is an amazing necklace. What you got there? He's like, oh, this little Sith trinket. You know, this old thing. All right, so I'm gonna do the same thing with this, and I'm gonna add some more detail with the smaller Sharpie, but I wanted to give you the basics, and then we'll add some detail. Okay, so this hand is gonna be kind of down like this, not as dramatic, but still down like this. So I'm gonna draw the thumb in here like this. The fingers are kind of down on themselves, kind of like that, right? Nothing too crazy. But same thing, the pinky is a little out. So it's kind of down like that, okay? Just think of it like it's kind of flowing down. And all you can see of the hand is that. And then same thing, I'm gonna draw just a little bit of the arm underneath, but again, the robe is gonna come down and hide a lot of it. All right, so that means that's the edge, okay? So I'm gonna come back up here and add some lines, some wrinkles and folds. And let me add some detail. Okay, so again, old man lines, old man hand lines. Just gonna do kind of some knuckle lines just so you see where we are. Maybe clean it up a little bit. I want kind of pointy fingers, you know, the old wrinkly old man scary wizard fingers, you know. Let's see, let's do a little point on this one too. Kind of a little, almost like, is it nail? Is it old man bone sticking out? You know, he's kind of a wrinkly old nail. He doesn't cut his nails. That's what I'm trying to get at. He's an old man who needs to cut his nails more. All right, so I'm a little bit more wrapping. Again, it's probably going to be all dark. You won't see it anyway, but it gives you something to draw, right? So let me add some small lines. Because it is cloth, we're kind of adding some wrinkles in here because we can. And actually because we should, because it's so much cloth being wrinkled and bent that, you know, there should be a bunch of folds. All right, so now I'm going to just drape it down. And so that's why in the sketch, you see what I did was make sure it was long enough to look like a real person standing there. Bring this down, something like that. I'm going to draw the middle, the center of it, down in here like this. And we'll say that it's like open a little bit right there. Down because it is a robe and closes, right? So we'll say, you can say we can see 1 foot like that, right? That's all you can really see. But it gives us a reason to draw more wrinkles and folds. Okay, so let's add some, because that's pretty much it. It's just a robe. And so what's funny is when I was getting requests, part of me was like, really? I mean, it's just, I mean, I get it. I mean, I love drawing Star Wars too, but it's just a robe, you know? There's not much else to draw, but I get it. Star Wars. I love Star Wars. We all love Star Wars. A lot of you love Star Wars. We do a lot of Star Wars drawings. I get a lot of Star Wars requests. I mean, this isn't just a Star Wars channel, but I get a lot of people requesting them, and that, like I said, that's great. I love Star Wars, but I just want other people to know. We do more stuff, you know. I try to do more for everybody. All right, and I think there you go. I think we should take care of the rest with color. And I'm going to add some lightning and get all kinds of crazy. So that is Emperor Palpatine from Star Wars.
So here's how I colored it. Tell me what you think in the comments below, or show me what you did in our Discord group. Just have fun and make it your own, because remember, this is how I draw. You draw how you draw, and we'll meet somewhere in between. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more adventures on How I Draw. Plus, don't forget to hit that notification button for new videos.